Hi guys, if you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new here, welcome back. Today we're going to be creating Halloween pillows. We have recently created this pillow template for you guys. Now that we have finished cutting out the template, we are going to trace this on some black felt. Now that we've cut it out of the template, now we're going to cut it out on the black felt. Now that we're done with the bat, we're going to move on to the ghost. So the same thing like the bat, but now the ghost. Now that we have our two bats, we're going to be using a straight stitch and sewing them together. To help stuff this, I'm going to be using these two clay tools you would probably use for like molding clay, but I'm going to use it to try to stuff the fluff in. The next step, now that we've sewn all the way across, remember to leave a bit open so you can stuff the pillow. But our next step is to give the bat eyes. Here's the finished product. I think it came out pretty good. I will say it was a little difficult to do, but overall it's nice and fluffy. We used the seed beads for the eyes, and here it is with Barbie. Right over here, here's the size with Barbie. It's pretty good for the first pillow we've ever made. I probably should have started making square pillows before I made more complicated pillows, but I like to give myself a challenge. So the next thing we're going to be making is the ghost pillow. We're trying to make these printables available, but for now you can create it by drawing on a piece of paper your shape or finding an image online. And then since I didn't have white felt, I decided to use this old white pillowcase as the white fabric. So I wanted to trace it on something hard because this design has a lot of curves and they can easily be lost if you're not tracing on something hard. So I decided to use old doll packaging, and I'm going to trace out the ghost. So I have them traced on my fabric. They're not perfect, but the nice thing about My Froggy Stuff is she always encourages us to do our best and use stuff that we already have. Now I'm going to cut. This was the first attempt. The scallops really didn't show up, like the curves, and it really just looks like a chicken nugget. So I attempted it again, and I think it came out much better. You can see the curves, and now I'm going to start stuffing it. Here's the ghost pillow all stitched up. I think it is really cute. We decided to leave the shiny side out so it looks shiny. For the eyes of the ghost, I'm going to be using some black felt. I just cut out the eyes and the mouth with felt, and I think that they're really cute. So now I'm going to hot glue them on. I just finished hot gluing the eyes and the mouth onto the ghost, and I think it came out great. Hi guys, if you're noticing a change in the light, that's because our power went out last night because we were in Hurricane Milton. So we're back and we're here to make some really cute Barbie candles. I just went to myfroggystuff.blogspot to print out this candle template. Now, the only issue that I have is that I do not own a color printer, so I cannot print anything in color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use her template, and I'm going to try and substitute some paper and just use this to follow along and cut. Now the labels, if you do have a black and white printer, print perfectly. They look shiny, so they look more like a silver. So if you have a black and white printer, then this will be perfect. Now, if you have a color printer, then this problem will not apply to you because you can just print it in color. So let's get started on this project. So for the first method to not using her printables in color is going to be taking some cardstock and using these as a template to just cut it out. So as you can see, these are like the same thickness, like this. So that's all I did there. And my second method is I just took some Crayola marker and kind of drew on the back of this. Now you could do this by just cutting out paper. It's whatever's going to make you happy. I also cut out a strip of just regular cardstock, so it's just solid color. For making the candle, like the shiny part in this candle that My Froggy Stuff did, I have some vinyl because I don't actually have washi tape, and this is actually sticky, so it'll do the same thing. Okay, so I'm wrapping it up. Now this part's a little hard. I'm just going to take this and twist it. Now if you don't have vinyl, then you can use washi tape or maybe some sort of reflective paper would be probably really cool. And there we go. We're gonna wrap it just like this at least one time around until it looks like this. Now I've got my piece of gold and I'm just gonna line up my paper. Now there's gonna be a little bit overhanging and that's fine. That's intended. So I'm just gonna very carefully line everything up like this and then twist it around. You can go over as many times as you like. I'm going to go over once because I can make multiple candles with this one sheet. Like if you go over once like this, you could probably make 2 more candles. Now I'm going to take this glue stick and I'm going to apply some glue over here. Just like this. And I'm going to put some glue on the edge and I'm just going to hold it there for a few seconds. Make sure everything's straight and just hold it there so it dries. I've got my hot glue gun heated up and I've got a piece of white paper to glue on the candle like this. Okay, I'm just going to press and hold like this until it dries. Give it a few seconds because if you don't, it might fall off and you'll have to repeat the process all over again. Here I've got some twine and it's super thick, so what I did is I cut a little piece and I'm going to pull it apart. Now all I want is this piece right here. So I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm just going to go around once. Just like this. We just wanted to say we showed our printables off earlier in this video and we're working on creating these printables and making them available for you, but we didn't realize how much like how hard it was to create a link that you guys can download. So we're working on perfecting creating our folder and all of that for you guys. So our printables aren't available just yet. But we wanted to say that you can also create these printables yourself using Canva or Procreate. So until our printables are available, you can always just draw your own thing using a digital art software or just draw it on paper. So we appreciate you being patient. Okay, so I'm going to take some scissors. I finished filling up my glue, and I'm just going to cut a square of this paper just so I have an easier surface to work off of, because I feel like this is just a really big piece of paper to be twisting around. So I'm just going to put this down here, and I'm going to take my scissors. Hold on, I have some purple stuff on them. Whoops. And I'm just going to cut to size. So I'm just going to take a glue stick and glue this little Jack Skellington printable, because I thought that the stripes looked exactly like Jack's pants and his outfit. Only thing that I'm missing is probably the bow tie, but other than that, I think this is a really cute Jack Skellington candle. Maybe I can name the scent Deadly Nightshade or something. Not really sure just yet. If you guys have an idea, leave a comment down below. So now I have some clear packaging tape, and I'm just going to very nicely wrap it around my candle, making sure not to get any like bubbles, because once you stick it on, it's going to be pretty hard to remove. So the trick to cutting the tape off is to cut straight down like this, and then slide it in, which I'm just going to cut this really quick just so I can get my scissors in, and then very carefully cut around. Here are the other two candles that we made using her printables. This one we used the label for, and I just used the same scrapbook paper method. So I made a total of 3 candles. Now I made the pumpkin spice one, which if you notice on all of my Froggy Stuff's candle labels, each one is actually labeled with a different scent. So I chose to do pumpkin spice and harvest moon. And then I made my very own Jack Skellington candle. Now let's make the sheets that my Froggy Stuff made. So we're already on our next craft, and what we're going to be making is the My Froggy Stuff bed sheets. Here I printed out her bed sheet labels. I really appreciate that she took her time to create these really adorable printables. I mean, this idea was such a smart idea. I never would have come up with this idea, so I'm glad My Froggy Stuff did, because this is definitely a must-have mini in your dollhouse. It's just one of those things that you want to put in Barbie's little hall closet for when she has guests over, or maybe she just wants to go sheet shopping. I printed this label on black and white because I don't have a color printer, and it looks really good in black and white. I barely notice a difference. Only thing is that there's like a very faint blue on the right side and a very faint orange on the left side. So if you have a color printer, I definitely suggest printing it in color. And the last thing is that you can print this on printer paper and then glue it on cardstock for stability, or you can just print it straight on cardstock to skip a step. Shout out to My Froggy Stuff, because she's always making really awesome miniatures for Barbie out of recycled stuff, or maybe stuff that you've seen a lot. I did want to mention that pay attention to which sheets that you are looking at, because each, I guess, row of these sheets is like a different size. So there's queen, full, twin, and king. And then there's like a really big one that you can use for
like a comforter. So maybe like a twin comforter. Like maybe you could use some sort of fluffy fabric to make it extra big. I decided to do the full and the queen. I chose to use these two fabric patterns. One of them I got at the Dollar Tree, and then one of them was given to us. This project is a great way to use some of these scraps that you might have left over from making a Barbie outfit. Or maybe you can get some of your scrap fabric from a family member or a friend that loves to craft with fabric. I took out a sheet of cardboard and measured it to 1.5 by 4 3/4. When cutting your fabric, make sure you make it a little larger than your piece of cardboard, and then put your good side of the fabric down. Now with a heated hot glue gun, run a bead across the left side first, and then tightly tuck in the fabric. Make sure you pull very tight so it gives it a nice clean look, and then repeat the step on the other side. I just finished wrapping my cardboard, and now I'm going to start folding it into the sheet shape. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold it directly in half down the middle. Now, I will warn you, the cardboard is very rigid, so you're going to have to do a lot of maneuvering around and just feel it out and try to make it look like a package of sheets. So once you've done that, you're going to open it back up. This is just like doing origami. And then you're going to fold the half you just folded in half. So essentially, you're folding it in quarters. You repeat the step on the other side, and then you will just very carefully try and squish both quarter sides down and then fold them in half again, like this. And then you'll have a little bundle of folded up sheets. Let's finish up this project once and for all. I've got some clear packaging tape, my cutout label, and my folded piece of fabric and cardboard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to center my label, make sure that it's straight and it's finalized where you want it, because once you put on the tape, it's going to be hard to remove the tape off the paper. But I will say that you can remove the tape with the label on it. You'll just have to cut out a new label. And I'm just going to wrap around this tape all the way around the sheets until I've got it doubled up on itself. This next part was super easy for me because when it's Christmas time, I'm usually wrapping up presents for my sisters, so this is essentially the exact same thing. So I'm going to take these two sides and I'm going to press them down onto the fabric. Then I'm going to take the other bit that's flapped up, and I'm going to just crease it down and make it look like a dog or cat ear. It's very easy. You just want to crease it down, and if you've done origami, then it's the same thing. Then you'll just fold it down onto the fabric, the back piece, and then you'll take the front piece and do the same. Make sure that it's tightly wrapped because that's the only thing keeping the tape onto the fabric. I just finished folding the other package. For the last craft in my Froggy Stuffs video, we're going to be making this little decorative tree. I have the tree sketched out in front of me on a black sheet of paper. I used white pencil because obviously you won't be able to see with gray pencil. Now that my tree is all the way cut out, I just finished crinkling it up to make it look more like a haunted Halloween tree. I've got my hot glue gun ready to go. And then I also grabbed a white toothpaste cap. Make sure to wash it out because you don't want any sugar ants in your Barbie house. And I'm just going to start off and texture these branches just like this, just like randomly putting hot glue on it, maybe putting the nozzle on it to make it look more rustic. You just want it to look, I guess, old. I think mine came out pretty good. They're not as good as my Froggy Stuffs because she's the hot glue queen. She can make anything out of hot glue. Now I'm gonna paint these trees. I'm gonna be using this black paint and this Twinkles paint because I wanted to give my tree a little bit of a sparkle. I'm really happy with how these trees came out. I love the glitter on it. I think it just adds a really cool effect to it. I also painted the pot with some glitter on it too. Now I'm going to set up all of the minis that we made in our little fall scene. I think they came out really good. I'm hoping they're as good as my Froggy Stuffs. I mean, obviously hers looked a lot better, but I think I did a pretty good job for making them myself. And I just love the way that all of these came out. I think they're just really adorable, and I'm really looking forward to putting all of these in our Barbie house because Barbie does not have any fall decorations. So definitely remember to check out my Froggy Stuffs channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let us know in the comments down below if you think that our crafts came out as good as my Froggy Stuffs. And please consider subscribing. We're so close to 700 subscribers and would love to have you as part of our Funshine community. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!